And now we are proudly representing the Science Division! Which is actually my major as well. And now we are here with Dr. Brian J. Phillips, พี่น้ำมนต์นะคะ and อาจารย์ Lard Allen, the head of biology as well. Please introduce yourself shortly and about the course as well.
Hi, I'm Laird Allen, and I'm the head of the biology program. We have a number of concentrations under biology, from biomedical to environmental biology and biotechnology. We are proud to be able to offer a very flexible curriculum that allows students to graduate in as little as 3 years. This is brand new, and it's also, to the best of my knowledge, the fastest that you can actually finish a bio major in this country, all right?
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the basics. What we would hope students would do is take that extra time and use it to their best advantage, which could mean including an exchange program or possibly including courses even from other universities that they want to transfer in. So we're trying to make it as attractive and flexible as possible to meet the needs of students today. Thank you.
อาจารย์ Brian แต่ไม่ใช่ นะ
Brian.
Brian นะ
Brian.
Brian นะ
Brian.
And this is one of our best years for science and for Mahidol University International College. Totally, man. We got more students last term than we have ever in our whole life. So we're doing quite well right now. And I don't know about you, but the COVID, I know some people are looking back on it. Yeah, it's been like a candy land for me, because you got so much technology, so many things that you can do online, and you got cameras, you got all sorts of computers, you got D-Dunk every place.
Literally everything about computer.
Oh man, it's awesome, it's awesome. Like Ajahn Laird was talking about, it's a great time for us because we've launched all of our majors, we've relaunched all of our majors, and what we've done is we've reduced it so that you can study less and graduate quicker, right Ajahn?
Exactly.
And then what's it called?
iDesign. iDesign.
iDesign. The nice thing about the iDesign, usually when students are with us, they have to take a lot of GE classes. What we've done is, okay, you have to take maybe one in one section and one in another one. But what we've done is you guys can pick more your own classes. You guys can shape yourself. Now, you can go abroad, get credit for it. You guys can, before you graduate, you can go study a master's and transfer that credit in for credit at MUIC. So there's a lot of flexibility. And then, of course, we have minors. We also have certificates as well. So it's a great time to come study with us. Now, for science, you that want to go into the science track, oh man, you don't have any choice. We're the best program for that area. And everything's taught in English. So that's the only thing that, oh man, yeah. The one that I want to talk to you guys a little bit about is some of you guys are business majors, or maybe you're in the humanities, and you're kind of shopping around for something different or something that fits. And basically, every company is looking for people with science background. So that's what I have to say. Thank you. I talk too much, I know.
That's really useful, and that's the good news because all the credits has been reduced, so it starts from my year, and it will be go onward as well. And that means that you guys can challenge yourself with other faculty or the courses that maybe you think is not really related, such as like marketing. But if you know science and you can do business, what is better than that, right? So, Pinamon, please introduce yourself.
Hi, so I'm Nammon Chanamon Khai Mongkon, and I'm in a biological science major. And this is my third year, second term in Mahidol also. So, yeah, I am planning on going into the biology module that's pure biology, and I'm interested in becoming a veterinarian right after I graduate from this major. Yeah.
That sounds awesome. And the first question that everyone would like to ask is, yes, we are well known for Mahidol University International College to be the best at science, but what is this course actually about? Like, what do we study, and how different between our course to the other courses?
Okay, if I can start with that. Our course always begins with a strong foundation, broad foundation. And this begins with courses, as you mentioned, that are even not in sciences. Everything from English to social sciences, international relations, business courses are possible. Students will take quite a wide variety of courses first. And that's really what makes us liberal arts, all right? We don't believe in students starting right out with nothing but biology courses, for example, or nothing but computer courses, for example. They're going to take many, many other courses as well, and especially in the early years, which is usually about the first year. After that, they'll begin taking core courses, we call them, which are courses such as genetics, cell biology in my major, animal biology, plant biology, things like this that are pretty specialized. But even that will only take about a year to finish. And after that, they've got complete flexibility again in terms of a couple more bio courses, maybe many more bio courses if they want to stay in more of a traditional
we have the minor as
background.
well, right?
And that's when they could really get into a minor as well. As John Bryan was talking about, it could be a business minor, it could be a computer minor, or a certificate. We have social sciences, we have psychology, very popular, psychology minor, and others, all right? So we fully expect our students to actually graduate with at least 2 official certifications, 1 bachelor's degree plus 1 certificate or minor, and double majors are also a possibility, all right? If somebody is willing to study for about 4 years, which would be a traditional bachelor degree anyway, they can actually do 2 majors here at this time, all right? So we think this is the flexibility and the variety and the student choice is really what distinguishes us from probably any other program in Thailand and maybe most of the world, to be honest.
Well, the other thing is, which major? Are you talking about math, or are you talking about computer science? Are you talking about computer engineering, or food science, right? Food science.
Chemistry.
Or chemistry? Oh, I'm going to miss one. What am I missing? Physics and biology. The thing is, a lot of the other international programs in Thailand, the thing is, once you go into that program, it's a good program, but if you change who you are or what you like, you're stuck. You can't change your major. Specific. Okay, maybe you can go from marketing to accounting or something like that. But for us, you can change your major. Now, you can't do it every day, but if you decide, a lot of computer science study and they like finance, so they can change to finance. We have students that are in finance that decide they like to program. They've had biology students go to food science. So the unique thing about us is you guys, as you grow up, change who you are, so you're allowed to change your mind.
This uniqueness has emphasized what I said before in the morning session, which is as we are studying, we're actually exploring and know our potential, and the professor is the one who push it up and help you polish your strength and personal skill. It's not only hard skill, right? It's a soft skill as well. That's what I remember for the first day I actually came in here.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Soft skills such as interpersonal communication, like we're doing right here, are absolutely critical, and they're across discipline, all right? You can't really function in today's world without other people. I'd say this is even more important in this COVID era we're in, where we're communicating online all the time, including this media right here today. And you don't get the body language. You hear only the tone of voice. You see their facial expressions. You need to know really what people are thinking about, all right? And beyond that, you have to appreciate what they know and what they don't know. So when you study or even work at MUIC, you encounter people from so many different areas that are outside of your experience, and they become part of your experience. They become, very close to you in some cases. And through this kind of interpersonal relationship building, you actually learn a lot and become just a more functional human being. I like to say you become more actualized, although that is a term that became less popular in psychology 30 or 40 years ago. Just an indication of something that people studied once that they don't study anymore. And I still know it. Now you know it. Get actualized.
Don't forget to ask the expert on what it's like and what's the difference. I know you have friends at other universities, right? Please.
This question from Phutthamonthon. Why do you select this major at MUIC?
So one of the reason why I actually chose MUIC is because I'm really interested in biology and purely like just a broad like definition of biology and not just like biomedical that most university would offer. And our school, the MUIC, is actually the only international college that actually offers the pure biology program in Thailand, essentially. Because as I came back from Canada, I was like really interested in biology only, and you know, like after learning a lot, we were able to study not just like the pure biology, but also in terms of like chemistry, and we were given like a strong foundation to build upon to maybe go into something that we actually like. And because we were given like such a diverse opportunity to just explore a lot of things, we were able to kind of discover ourselves and actually what we like more here.
Do you remember like the first day at MUIC? What does it feel like?
Well, on the first day, I think like my first class was like swimming, and
Swimming?
Yeah,
Okay.
and another thing that we have in MUIC is like a chance to, you know, take a PE class, and I feel like that is something that, you know, generally like other university don't really offer for you, or like the general education and the things that you can just take alongside of like your core classes. And that's actually, I was able to make a lot of friends from other like not faculties but other majors as well, and not just in biology. So in the gen ed courses, I was actually able to like meet friends that I still hang out with today. Yeah.
We know a lot of advantages of this course, but what is the real challenge of this course? Of this all sciences? The challenge that people always like struggle on, and
It's different for the different majors. Start with biology, man, and chemistry.
Well, it wasn't that hard for me. I don't know. I know. Yeah, I mean, you have to find your strength, okay, honestly. And I mean, we're maybe beating a dead horse here, but the flexibility and the choice you have allows you to sample areas and figure out what you're actually good at, all right, what you enjoy. And usually if you enjoy it, you're good at it, and vice versa. Okay, usually don't enjoy things that you're rather poor at doing. So, yeah, by doing the GE, as she talked about, was swimming good?
Yeah, it was great.
She learned to swim. Okay, I think she knew to swim
great.
before, but it was
Yeah.
fun, right? So she found a strength. Okay, and you probably did a few other things. By trying these different courses in the first year, in the GE, general education year, you do kind of figure out what you're good at. A major change is a possibility. We have that happen. I think, to be honest, going forward, we're going to see less of that. We're going to see more doubling up of majors and majors becoming minors, things like that, because we have that flexibility of the time that we didn't have before. So students really can find what they're good at, all right? What's particularly hard about science? Logical thinking, maybe, for most people. Linear thinking, all right? Science requires a linear kind of approach. One fact leads to another fact, to a conclusion, to another fact, and a question. Scientific method. But at the same time, you need a fair amount of intuition. And you still need those soft skills between other scientists even. They don't all think alike. Computer science, I mean, you don't think
I
like
think
we
this
do.
generation is sort of
Right? Yeah. So you learn to work with people from other areas, and that's true in the real world. So I think MUIC in a computer major or a physics major or a chemistry major or bio, I think it's much more like the real world of work out there, where you're not alone in a lab, isolated from everybody, trying to figure out the answer to the universe. It's not like
it's
that.
not like a scientific. No, it's a sci-fi movie or something like that.
Yeah, there's no such thing as that isolated mad scientist, Back to the Future guy. It's not like that at all. All right, you've got to work with people. You've got to cooperate. You've got to understand what they're trying to explain to you, which means having enough background in these other fields. So.
How about in chemistry?
Not in chemistry.
He's not.
Oh man, what are you trying to make me? The challenge actually in computer science, physics, and math is they tend to be people where they do their own thing. And in today's world, like Ajahn Laird just talked about, you have to work together as a group, as a team, and be able to communicate. And that's been one of the biggest challenges right now. That's one of the things they're doing with some of the newer majors, with some of the newer classes. There's more of a component where they have to do teamwork and share things and communicate a lot. Because you can be super brilliant, but if you can't communicate what's inside of you, that's the stopping point. And we want our students, when they graduate, we want them to be very successful when they go out in the real world.
That's a perfect answer.
I think Laird's better, but yeah, thank you.
Both of you. What are the career aspects of these courses?
Career aspects? Career paths. Yeah. As a scientist, I think over 30 years of doing this, I feel like I've discovered scientists can do almost anything, actually, okay? Although the traditional path would be take your bachelor's degree in chemistry or your bachelor's degree in physics, for example, get a master's degree in those fields, and then get a PhD in something more specialized. That's traditional, and that's still out there. It's definitely still out there. But I know for a fact, many people take a bachelor's degree in a science field, and then they change, all right? They end up maybe going into an MBA, which we offer, all right? I've got at least one student right now who's doing a bachelor's degree, finishing that, and she's doing an MBA simultaneously because she sees this as the way of the future. It's going to start a company or work in a company doing biotech, something like that, needs to know the business side of things, all right? So the business path is out there, but you need the science foundation. I personally feel it's quite hard to get a non-science person to do science later in life, all right? It's something that there's a kind of a flexibility in the mind when you're somewhere between 18 and 24, something like that, where you can actually take in the science, appreciate it, and understand it. And then you can tag on some other specialities later on, perhaps. But I think it's hard to go the other way around, all right? I don't see a lot of artists becoming scientists when they hit 40, all right? But it can go the other way. There are scientists who turn into painters, really good ones, all right? Look at Einstein, all right? But the career paths are quite variable, honestly. Traditionally, it's research, it's teaching, it's being a clinician, a medical clinician, dentistry, medical doctor, veterinarian, things like that. But there's actually almost anything out there. And so many are interdisciplinary jobs. You can't do this without, say, computer skills, for sure, all right? Biologists cannot function without chemistry skills, for sure. Yeah, you can't function.
All go together.
You need it. You need all that, yeah.
You asked at a good time, because I just saw the statistics from last term. Our students graduated during COVID. And guess what? It's only had just a very small effect on our graduates. It's maybe like 1% less for maybe employment, a couple of percents less for study.
So a lot to offer for science.
It's kind of a bulletproof major. Students that are graduating are not having a problem getting a job. They're not having a problem going to study abroad. Now, most of our students, I think about 33% to 40%, it depends on the term, but quite a lot of them, after they graduate, they go ahead and go to another country, or they stay in Thailand to do their graduate work. So that's the track that most of the science do. Then they'll come back, and then they'll work in an industry as well. And of course, there's the traditional ones where you work as a radiologist. Oh man, you go hospital. We do have a medicine track if we get a chance to talk about it.
Yeah.
But they do go into different careers. The thing is, pretty much the science degree is a new type of MBA. The skills that you learn for math, the skills that you learn to think logically, to look at data, is the sort of skills that they need in corporations. So Ajahn Laird was very correct. Oh man, if you go work for DTAC and they got somebody that graduated in biology, or computers engineering is easy, but if you're a biology or you're a physicist, they'll grab you. Just hands down. They'll grab you over another student because they know the quality of that education compared to somebody else where maybe they didn't put quite as much into it. So it's a good, timely question, man. Don't forget the student. Don't forget that. Ask her. Don't forget. She's going to graduate, man. She's almost there.
She's about to. Have you ever go study abroad? from the university that offer you scholarship or something like that?
Personally, I've never been on an exchange, but I did live in Canada for like 12 years as like a thing.
You're on an exchange right now.
Yeah, I'm
Back to
actually
Thailand.
on an exchange back to Thailand. But I do have a lot of friends that are going to like other countries on an exchange program for like a term or like 2 terms or maybe even a year. And this is like you're getting experience from other countries and you're getting a new perspective in life. You're able to kind of just be out there in the world by yourself. And I feel like that's a valuable like knowledge that you obtain from this. And you get to learn new cultures also. And we have so many exchange program opportunities also. Like you mentioned how we had like people are going to like Tokyo and Shanghai.
That's right. Yeah, we almost always have students at, I would just estimate 15 or 20 foreign institutions at once, all right? Shanghai, Japanese universities, American universities, German, Australian universities, UK universities, French universities, yes. And we have students from these universities coming in very, very often as well, all right? Now, yes, it is reduced a bit, but we've even had students who were here, went home because of COVID, and continued studying with us anyway. Even though they could have gone back to their home university, they stayed under our program studying remotely, So there's a lot of this international exchange possibility, all right, for us, inbound and outbound, yeah. And there's the pathways.
And we got some excellent relationships with some great universities. University of Wisconsin's always top 100. Right. Yep. University of North Carolina is just super deluxe famous. We got University of Hong Kong. Oh man, we could go on the list in different countries. We got, especially for science majors especially. Sometimes for BBA they put the gates up, but for you guys they're more than welcome for you guys to come.
Wow, that's so interesting.
Yeah, just to add to that list that Brian was mentioning, Flinders University, Macquarie University, University of Queensland, NSU, National Singapore University, Shanghai Jiao Tong University, Osaka University. We're going to have 2 students up there next term, actually. It's one of the top in the world. All over the place, actually, yeah. And yeah.
We talked about the study already. How about the internship that you could offer us?
Internships are something we've been developing in science, and they're going to be ubiquitous with your class, especially, okay? Your class, not so much, all right? But so anyway, you can go back if you wish. But internships are something we value a lot. We've been more on the traditional track up to now, but they're going to be developed with local companies and local laboratories. What I expect to happen is students are going to be doing internships for 3 to 6 months, 1 or 2 terms, and then that will lead into their research projects. Most of our students do a research project at the end of their career with us, and they will be able to build together, and they have good relationships with people in those laboratories that they can then turn into jobs, hopefully, yeah. It's being developed, okay? I'll be very transparent about that.
For food science, they have CP Group, and they have all of the top manufacturers of foods. For computer science, of course, you have TRU, you have all of the IT companies that can do internships. Computer engineer is the same. For biology, chemistry, and some of the physics ones, most of those students, once again, go back and study at a university. So for them, a lot of them pick the research track or the project track because that helps them get the best possible chance to get into the best university. Yeah. But for the ones that are staying and want to work after that, we are developing different links and different options for them to go work in industry and stuff. And that's what we're working on right now.
That sounds perfect. What about the club? Do we have science club?
Yeah.
Ooh, who runs it?
She can answer that.
Actually, like we have many clubs. I'm like an exec for the Nature Lovers Club, and we work a lot with. Right now, we actually have a compost project. It's kind of COVID season, so we don't have a lot of people working there right now. But our compost project is actually linked to the biological research that we're doing also, and that's like a research opportunity that we offer for people that are interested. And we also have the Science Society Club, which I've been to, and they also have science-based, a little bit of like an experiment for everyone. You don't need to be of science major to join these clubs. There's a lot of like really interesting, sometimes we go out on like field trips and those kind of things also. So it's really a lot of fun, and clubs are like huge in MUIC. Yeah.
I think
Easy learning.
I think you probably talked about it already this morning or something. Like, MUIC is very strong with clubs. MU's well known for it, but MUIC, if they're not active, they'll cut them out. And oh man, I forgot the count right now. Last I knew, there's 12. How many clubs are there now?
Oh, so many.
It's 60 roughly.
Like
It's at least, yeah.
not only do we have clubs, but we also have sports clubs also, such as like American flag. We have like those kind of things also, like badminton. Yeah, so not only do we have like the kind of more like academic clubs, but we also have like sports, and we have like animal lovers, and yeah, those
So
kind
we're
of
actually
things
learning
also.
beyond the classroom.
Yeah.
Would you mind to share some experience at MUIC after you've been here?
Yeah, definitely. So being in MUIC, I feel like, you know, because the classrooms are quite small compared to what I was used to in Canada, we are much more intimate with our professors or our ajans. So, you know, that really gives us like a strong relationship. And if we really need any help, we can go straight and go ask them. And they also offer us a lot of like, for science, like research opportunities and opportunities to be a little bit more hands-on rather than being just, you know, studying and like going to lectures. And we have like many labs also available for a lot of the courses also. So that really prepares you for the future. And along with opportunities for, like I mentioned, internships, and you're also going to be doing a senior project, which kind of prepares you for the future. So not only are we preparing for, you know, graduating, but you're prepared for more of like a professional kind of life afterwards, with whether you go into research or you want to go into a medical science path. And with the biomed module, I'm sure you're going to talk about it later, they also prepare us really well for going into med schools and those kind of things too.
It might be a good time to talk about
Yeah.
our medical tracks, I think. That's maybe a good conversation.
Yeah, our biomedical program is, in the bio program, is probably the most famous and well-known and the most popular, I guess. We have several specific tracks, or pathways we call them, where a student can study biomed with us and then go almost directly into several different medical schools. Our oldest and most popular track is with St. George's University of Grenada in the UK, and we have students there all the time who are studying to be doctors under the American system, and they can get licensed to practice medicine in the United States, going through that pathway. We also have newer pathways through Macquarie University in Australia, and also through Chulalongkorn University here in Thailand, which are just opening up, and we expect students to be jumping at those chances as well for a more local medical experience. These pathways can be accelerated, and actually within just 2 years, you can actually finish your MUIC experience, however, without a bachelor's degree, all right, and then go straight into a medical program in some cases. Most students honestly do prefer to get the bachelor's degree, which will take, as I said, about 3 years or a little bit more, and then do the medical pathway after that. But these are well established, and we have really close partnerships with these outside universities. They like MUIC students. We also have had students at medical schools in Singapore, NSU, and Duke, and other places around the world, UNC, as you mentioned. And so students actually do get around quite a bit from here. They go everywhere.
So nothing more to say. Come join us. Science division have a lot to offer you guys. So now, do you have any advice for the students that are applying to science? And this is going to be the last question.
There you go. It's cliched, but study hard. All right. Don't. You won't get anything from doing nothing. All right. You've got to work hard. There are people with a natural inclination or ability for sciences, same as with anything, really. So if you're one of those, fantastic. I wasn't exactly one of those, all right? I had to study a little harder, honestly, all right? But you will be doing better if you apply yourself, all right? Read and watch videos widely, all right? Do not become narrow in your intake of media, whether it's print or film or whatever, all right? Take in a lot. We expect broadly based students when you apply here. If you know nothing but how to derive an equation in a math course, you're probably not going to make it here, all right? You need to know a lot more than just one subject, all right? Well, we like people who can do that, but they need just to do other things too, like understand mitosis and meiosis, all right? Just basic stuff like that, all right? Study a lot, be broad, and do work on those interpersonal skills. That makes more difference than almost anything.
For me, if I was going to redo my degree, I'd probably pick food science. And for those of you that are not sure if you want to do chemistry or you want to do biology, you're soul searching yourself. It's a really nice mix of bio, it's a nice mix of chemistry, and it's very practically oriented. And pretty much 100% of the students get a job just like that before they graduate. The second one, we've had a boom of computer science students that want to be computer science. And we love it because we've had some very good applicants. But the issue for you guys, if you want to do computer science, math, okay? Whatever you think you know, you don't know enough. Prepare for math.
Yeah.
If you do math, you got a good chance of doing well on it.
And Phutthamonthon, do you have any advice for students?
I would say be diligent, study, like Ajahn said, and also have a lot of fun. Because I can guarantee you, if you're not having fun, you're not going to enjoy all the study, because it is a lot of work. It's a lot of memorization, and it's a lot of calculation also. So, and also for those of you that are kind of new to biology or other science majors, and you've never heard of the English words or jargon before, maybe familiarize yourself with those words, because we're going to be using them a lot. And if you go straight into the classes, they're going to start using those words right away, and you might not be able to catch up. So a little bit of preparation is always useful. Yeah.
If I could add to that, we welcome students from other backgrounds, all right? We're not limiting ourselves to just people who studied high school science a lot. For that matter, neither does BBA or the FAA division. They're not limited to people with those particular backgrounds before either, all right? MUIC is something that explores your individual abilities, as you were mentioning, and we think we can help you find where you're going to be successful. All right, so we have had students come in here very successful that didn't have those bio vocabularies or the computer vocabularies or those math skills, and they became successful after they got here. All right, so a lot of change can happen between the time you're 17, 16, and the time you're 20, 22. A lot of things change. Okay, you'll be happy changes. Believe me.
Yeah.
Right. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that I know 3 students that are actually, they studied as kind of their focus on language in high school, and they're doing pretty well in biology. Obviously, they're gonna need to study a little bit harder than the people who went into the science track in high school, but it's definitely totally doable, and you can get really good results out of it too.
And high school science is not science. You remember when you were in high school, they prepared the experiment, you had to water the plant or you had to shake a tube, and if you didn't get the right result, you were in trouble. You were hit it or you lied or something like that. That's not science. Science is finding something brand new that nobody ever knew, and you're the first person that found it. And that's fun.
and you fail a lot too. Yeah, failing
That's
is
the part of the
totally fine. It happens all the time.
Okay, so thank you everyone for joining us today, and it's my pleasure to be your host. And this is.
You did a good job. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
thank you. วันพรุ่งนี้นะคะก็ยังมีกิจกรรมสุดพิเศษในวันที่ 14 นะคะสำหรับน้องๆสายอินเตอร์ทุกๆคนเลยมีทั้งการเปิดตัวเมเจอร์ใหม่ Creative Technology มินิคอนเสิร์ตและกิจกรรมอื่นๆอัดแน่นตั้งแต่ 9 โมงเช้าถึง 4 โมงเย็นเลยค่ะสำหรับวันนี้สวัสดีค่ะ